Welcome guys and gals to the Outdoors with Rich. This is where we do as many fun and interesting things as we can find in the great outdoors. And this weekend it's me, Jen, and Ricky. Hunting season starts next weekend, bow season up here in Gilchrist County, Florida. And today we're going to continue to fine tune the crossbow and the vertical bow, getting ready to make sure we're accurate. You're going to want to stick around because for the first time ever we're going to be doing dessert over the campfire. Yeah, go up. All right. Tip it. All right. One more. This is at 25 yards, so that's pretty good. It's time to see if we can get this cordage up on this tripod. I've taken this wrench, something I knew I could tie to that had some weight to it. Just put a nice bowline knot in there, and I've got, I don't know, 30 feet of 550 cord, and I'm going to try to flip it up and see if I can make it go over the top. Who knows how many times this is going to take me, if I can even get it. I think I can. And that way there we'll be able to drop it down and use our cordage to hang our Dutch oven for that dessert coming up. Figured I'd do this before I get the fire going. Oh, the first try. Kinda. There's my wrench up there. Hopefully it didn't get caught in the, that's why I was afraid it would get pinched in there. Yeah, it got pinched. I can pull it up, but it's not going to come down. Now what? What do you think?
We need to pull it down this way.
Right.
We need to pull the wrench down.
Right. With what? All right, come on in. So guys, you see that wrench up there? We need to get that wrench down, and we're going to try to maybe stand on the golf cart there and try to pull that down. It's binding all the way at the top. I think this is still a far easier process than trying to lay this tripod back down. Let's see what happens. All right, guys. Don't try this at home. I got this hooked onto this fancy rake, and I'm gonna try to hook that hook through there. And pull this down. All right, that worked. Run this end up through there. Perfect. All right, guys, we got our 550 cord. It's got a little snag in there. Not sure how that happened. But now I'm going to put a prusik knot in it right here so it can slide up and down. I'll show you in a little bit. I have a chain thing that I can hang on here, but I also want to just be able to hang the Dutch oven and control the height of that Dutch oven, or my grill, which hangs on chains. Dutch oven will hang right on here, and that way there, if I build a fire and I need to raise it up, I just slide my prusik knot up. So let me show you what I got in mind there. All right, get us a little extra piece of cordage here. Run it through there once. Run this through that loop twice. And probably one more time. I'm going to tie a knot in here. Both of these together at the same time, just a regular overhand knot. Tie that off there. Can you hold down on that? Yeah. Just clean up this knot a little bit. All right, let it go. All right, guys, so what we have here is a prusik knot. I'm gonna cut these off. Well, I'll just go ahead and do that now. So now we have this cordage going up, to the top of the tripod, and I have this prusik knot. You have 1, 2, 3 on one side, and then 1, 2, 3 on the other side of these pieces hanging through. So what the end result is this isn't the hook I'm going to use, but just to give an example, if this was tied down to my grill or Dutch oven, I can hook this in here, and when you pull on this prusik knot, when you put downward pressure on this piece right here, it can't go. It's tight. See how it's binding up right there. But if I hold this bottom piece and I want to slide this up or down and change the distance, where it is on this cord here, it's going to change where my Dutch oven is over the fire below. So that's a prusik knot, and that's why I'm using that here. And should be good to go. All right, guys, it's time to peel up these apples. We are going to be making Campfire Apple Crisp. The important thing is when you're ready to cook this stuff that you have some hot coals already there, because you don't want to really be cooking with flame as much. And we're going to need hot coals to set on top of our Dutch oven to help cook it from both sides. That's kind of like an oven concept, right? It cooks from the bottom and it cooks from the top. So I got my little handy open L peeler that I keep in my truck, and I'm just peeling some apples. Okay, so Jen was kind enough to tell me that I was doing the peeling wrong, that I'm supposed to be peeling towards me, and it takes it off in better strips. I'm always afraid I'm going to cut my finger when I do it that way, but since she's standing right here, we're going to say this is way better. This is a much better concept. Good job, babe.
What are you doing with the skin there, Rich?
Oh, that's going to be for the deer. Deer love apples. A lot of times we'll put entire thing of apples out there. Of course, only do that in states and in areas where it's legal to bait deer. And here in Florida, it's fine to do that. I'm sure people got opinions of whether or not you should be doing it. That's for another day. But, yep, I'm going to throw this out there to my deer. How small we want these?
Thinner they are, the faster they cook.
Like this?
Yeah, that's good.
Oh.
You get caught on camera.
Alright guys, so that's the rule here. The thinner they are, the faster they're going to cook. So we've never done a dessert before. Other than donuts. We have done like deep fried donuts, if you want to count that as a dessert. And then maybe like s'mores. Have we done any desserts other than that?
No, I don't think so.
I think that's it. So you guys are getting it here first. The Outdoors with Rich.
Dessert cooking.
Dessert over a campfire. I'm putting these guys down here on a little plate. That's going to be for the deer too. A lot of you guys have seen me use this Opinel knife right here. Love this knife. I'll put a description below where you can get you one if you want. I keep this knife in my truck. In my little, what if I want to cook something right here in the middle of the road? Not in the middle of the road, but what if I want to pull over anywhere I want and cook something kit? I keep several things to keep me ready, and this knife goes in that kit. Great food knife. Alright guys, there's our apples all cut up. Test one. We'll have the recipe linked below or down there in the description, but here goes a half cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon, two teaspoons, that's our ground cinnamon. I'm going to do a half a teaspoon of the ground nutmeg.
Correct. Nope. Put it the other way.
This way?
Oh no, you're right. The verse.
Okay. All right, the next part, this calls for 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So I'm just gonna, I like to squeeze my own. I'm just going to put half a lemon worth in there. All right guys, so now we just want to stir this up. What we want to do is get these apples all coated in this sugar. Get everything stirred up nice and good. And try to get as many of these apples to have a whole base of sugar all over the outside of them. You can kind of see where it's going with it. There's sugar all over that. And then of course the other ingredients that are in here as well. Once we get done with this, we're going to move to our crispy topping. When you get to this phase of it, you can just eat these jokers like this. Very good.
Stop eating all the apples.
So we did the white sugar. that what it's called? White sugar. We did that already. Mixed, that's over there chilling with the apple. So there's half a cup. Pack us in another half a cup, which equals a cup, full cup of brown sugar. This is pre-measured already for me, so but you got a cup of flour and 2 cups of oats. All right, guys, when it comes to the butter, you want it cold. I'm gonna cut this into some chunks, mix it in, and then I'll show you that process in just a minute. By the way, guys, I did add, per the recipe before it wasn't on camera, a pinch of salt. All right, now what I'm doing is just turning this all up. I want these to be my crumbles. So this butter, instead of being big chunks like this, needs to be smaller crumbles. So we're ready, guys. Here's those apples. Put those in there. Look at that. I'm gonna spread those nice and even around the bottom base of my pan. Hey, by the way, we used some butter to grease whatever you want to use, but you need to really grease the sides and bottom of your skillet here, or your Dutch oven rather. All right, now here's how that stuff turned out here. You see I got some chunks, nothing bigger than this. That's all chunked up, and this is our topping, our crispy topping, or it will be our crispy topping. So let me pour that in there. And then what we're going to do is push it around, make it nice and even. This is the top. This is the piece that's going to crisp up nice. Keep in mind, this is all littered up, doped up, infiltrated, whatever the word is. There's a, oh, that's an apple. I thought that was a chunk of butter. This is all caked, that's the word I'm looking for. This is all caked with butter inside. So we're going to put the lid on this, get it on our fire, and cook it for about 30 minutes. Then Jen and I went to the store and picked us up some Bluebell homemade vanilla ice cream. Oh my gosh. I absolutely love apple pie with Bluebell ice cream. So this is going to be even better. Here's our rope we made earlier. This is what I do with it when I don't want it hanging over the fire when we're not using it. Come down like this. It's one of the great things about Dutch ovens, guys, is, I mean, you can just do so many different things with them. But anytime you want to cook from the top, you can put some coals up in there. So that should be good there. I'll put a link to this Dutch oven in the description as well. All right. We'll have to keep feeding this fire, but we'll keep checking on it. We want to start the clock and go for about 30 minutes. All right, guys, well, we got a lot in store for us the rest of the night, but we're running out of daylight, so I wanted to come to you and just thank you so much for following along. We're getting ready to grill some burgers for dinner, and Jen's whipped up a dish with some onions, potatoes, and green beans that we're gonna fry up and have as our side dish. We'll definitely circle back when it's time for the Campfire Apple Crisp paired with that Bluebell vanilla ice cream. Well, we checked it. It's not crispy yet. We're looking for a dark, crispy around the edges, Jen said. So, put that back on. All right, guys, it's starting to crisp up around the edges. We got it off the fire. Let's take a look. See, it started crisping up around there. Hopefully it's not burnt. Let me see how that looks on the bottom. Oh, that looks good. We got some Bluebell ice cream. We got some Campfire Apple Crisp. You got to put them both together. Put them both together like that. A lot of sugar right there, guys. A lot of sugar. But it's good. What do you think, Leland?
It's good.
All right, what do you think of the dessert?
It's good.
What do you like about it?
That is together.
It's together?
Mm-hmm.
What, the ice cream and the cobbler?
Yes, sir.
Good. Did you eat any of it? Ooh, you did good on your... All right. So you're gonna eat it all?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's see. You mix it together too, like I did?
Mm-hmm.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sunday. Today's the day we pack up and head home, and we got a couple chores to do before we leave. One of our little tarp roof canopies where we keep some of our equipment under started falling down. The rope was kind of old. Probably the hurricane helped it a little bit, so we're gonna fix that up before we go. Today's note from my 365 jar is find a reason to smile today. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. Appreciate you watching. Next time you see us, it's going to be hunting season.
Yep.
Until next time, may God bless you.